Instagram isn't working now. Instagram isn't working.
Is that your buzzer?
Welcome. I'm not sure what that is. Instagram. It's not giving me the option to turn off this weird audio. We're not rocking like that. Yeah, let's discard that. That's not what we're doing. Okay. I'll figure that out another time. So let's get on Instagram.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it's doing some weirdness. We're gonna go this way. Come on in Facebook, come on in YouTube. You already know what to do. As I always say, invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10, because after we get these little afflicted situations happening, then daggone it, we're about to go in. So, this is perfect time to just invite those folk in and see where we're going. See what we can get popping today. We got the 4 agreements going on. So if you have the book, I encourage you to grab it. Because we're going to get started shortly. And lastly, we have both. Peace and love, kings, queens, and gods. As I always say, and as I just said, come on in, invite a friend. Matter of fact, invite about 10, because it's the Floating Yogis Book Club, and we about to go in, y'all. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to some of the people who help me be me, help me do what I do. My dude, Payover, he's part of the crew, so if you want to be part of the Zoom room, if you want to be part of the meditation gang, then go on, hit him up, drop your email in there, and he'll send you a link. You can slide on in the Zoom room, and communication's going to be a little bit smoother. We're going to be able to chat, rap, whatever comments you have, we're going to be able to talk right back. So it's going to be a real thing. It's going to be a situation. Come on in the Zoom room, let's make it do what it do. Another one is MyFitDC. I encourage you to check out their offerings. They got a whole bunch of stuff going around. MyFitDC helping me with a platform as well, helping push my platform, and I appreciate that. Teamwork out here in DC. We also got a Lifeform mats. I encourage you to check out their mats. Their mats are phenomenal. The no slip grip, it's so great. It's an arm's distance away. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I didn't even have to move for real. That's how much I use it. And so much so that my daughter uses it too. We make it do what it do. What else is it? So the lessons we learn on the mat, we can come to these places, these spaces, and have the book club, have the meditation, have the breath work to take those on mat lessons that we learn off the mat and into our day-to-day life. It's about creating those healthy habits, creating consistency through them, and just watching our life flourish. So, thank you Lifeform, thank you MyFitDC, thank you Payover, thank you Brick LV, getting all the SEO and the sexy stuff together on the back end. Come on now, we out here blasting off, making it happen. Alright, with all those formalities out the way, I'm about to invite some folk in. I'm about to slide through and invite some folk in. Hey,
no commercials.
No commercials. Another one of the people, the crew, the dudes who help me be me, help me do what I do. If you don't know about no commercials, man, you're missing out. You ain't in the loop. That's all it is. So, dropping these shares. And Tony, let them know a little bit of the services that we have. I know we got something, I was speaking on consistency. We got something that help people stay consistent through challenging times. Could you speak on that?
Y'all can check out UE.DC on IG any one of the 7 days of the week. Holidays, snow days, rain or shine, we more regular than UPS. Come on in there and hit that moving and meditate button. Join the growth gang. Get a little shout out. Join a part of the community that cares to meditate every day and not bullshit on our greatness.
Come on now, because that's what we're doing. All right, with that being said, We are reading the four agreements, and we have made our way to the third agreement. Hey, what up, Brent? What up, Bronx? Welcome, welcome. The third agreement: don't make assumptions. How many? I don't even. I believe I don't even really have to ask how many people have been in like a confrontation or an argument or a debate because someone made an assumption. But we could, right? We could just imagine that could be a thing. So let's, outside of the blatant obvious, maybe it gets a little bit deeper. Maybe it gets a little saucy. Let's see what they talk about. Don't make assumptions. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe that they're the truth. That be it right there. Don't assume something and then assume that whatever you assume is the truth, because you're going to go through a whirlwind of disappointment. We could swear they're all real. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally. Then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our word. That is when we try to make that is whenever we make assumptions, we're asking for problems. We make an assumption, we misunderstand. We take it personally, then we end up creating a whole big drama out of nothing. Dog. Hey, what did it do, Yogi man, my guy? Right? The book is fire. I feel you. I support these thoughts. All of the sadness and drama that you've lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. The whole world war of control between humans is making assumptions and taking things personally. Our whole dream of hell is based on that. Not getting the things that we're expecting. We create a lot of emotional poison just by making assumptions and taking it personally, because we usually start gossiping about our assumptions. Ooh, anything of this sound familiar? Ooh, remember, gossiping is the way that we communicate to each other in the dream of hell and transfer poison to one another. Because we're afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions. I'm going to say that one again. Because we're afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions and believe we are right about the assumptions, and then we defend our assumptions and try to make someone else wrong. How backwards is, come on now. And I feel that when he said we are afraid to ask for clarification, that fear can be rooted in not wanting to know the answer because you could be wrong or right. That fear, that stifling fear, we gotta get past that. We gotta talk about that. Is it always better? It is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions, because assumptions set us up for suffering. Hey, welcome June G. I hear June yelling, she's here too. The big matote in the human mind.
I feel like,
come on.
So I agree. It's in the long run, it's always better, but it's not always more convenient.
Chad, you can say that again.
Because it's always more convenient to make an assumption, because you're always with limited, information, data, like that. Like, I don't know, we have like all our memories that we have at our disposal that like are on some level maybe an assumption, because that paints the picture that we project onto reality is, based on our memories and, of like, oh, this happens, it kind of messed up, so I'm never going to do it again, because it was like, I felt that might be, I don't know, it was like traumatic or something. So I don't know, I feel like it's definitely going to be more convenient, but at the same time, it's gonna always limit you to, something like from new possibilities.
That reminds me of the saying that fear is all in the mind. Like, fear is always, worry about the future. And when you were just like, you brought up fear from a past assumption or something, that makes you fearful to, whatever. And I think that's a part of it too.
Yeah, it's definitely in the mind, and like I feel like it's psychosomatic. So like also like we store it in the body, like certain things. Like you assume that you're gonna fall down. Like you assume if you jump off the cliff, you assume you're gonna break your leg. Like your body's just gonna like stop you before your mind does maybe. Like yeah.
I feel like if it's in the mind, it's automatically in the body because the body is just a physical representation of the mind. So we're somewhere hidden in that thing. We gotta get it up out of there. Hopefully, people did their yoga class, their yoga lessons this morning, their yoga flow, their practice, whatever they want to call it, their healing. Hopefully, they did a little bit of that. I know a couple people did. Okay, move forward. The big matote, the Maya, the illusion, in the human mind creates a lot of chaos, which causes us to misinterpret everything and misunderstand everything. We only see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear. We don't perceive things the way they are. We have the habit of dreaming with no basis in reality. We literally dream things up in our imaginations. Because we don't understand something, we make an assumption about the meaning. And then when the truth comes out, the bubble of our dream pops and we found out it was nothing that we thought at all. I feel like one of the big issues about making assumptions is we really do lose base of reality because we don't know. Sometimes you can lose track of what we're assuming and lose track of what's an assumption, what's a belief, like what's a fact, and what is. There's a third one that makes this a little saucy. That's why it's making me forget.
I feel like one of our biggest assumptions is about words in general. Like, I feel like most people don't look up words, and the only reason I look up words is because my kids ask what they mean, and I'm like, well, if y'all asking, I don't want to set y'all up wrong, so let's look it up. But I think most people.
I'm somewhat on a different. Like I feel like words are.
Hold on there.
Yeah, it's a whole other.
Jump back in because I'm tapping on what you were saying, Tony. It ties into what you were saying before, Dale.
I was just saying that I don't think most people look up words to learn them. We learn words through context. So if someone else's context is wrong or very specific, then we'll think we know what it means and we'll assume that's what it means. When the next person says it, we'll just put it into that same context. Having never looked it up, we just associate it with the last time we heard it or where it was last time. And so we assume so often what we mean with our words when we could just ask for clarification.
Yo, you just broke it down. Because I was just going to tap in and say the assumptions help us to not be impeccable with our word. Because we start then speaking the assumption as belief, as fact, as reality. And now we done lost the whole grounds of what reality really is. So anyway, that was a hit right there. What up, Sharon Cooperstein? Welcome. Want to be part of the Zoom room?
Yeah, I'm not perfectly in agreement. Like I agree to an extent. Like you need to agree on like things if you're gonna have a conversation. Like it's like, oh, I'm talking about this. Like I'm talking about an elephant. I'm not talking about a fish. It's like those are very specific things. Like, but still, like at some level, like you look it up. Like, you know, two different dictionaries are gonna have a different definition for the same word. Like, there's going to be some level of ambiguity because words can only be defined by more words. It's like kind of at some point it's circular and like
all words
we're trying to communicate something that's more complicated that can't fully be expressed with words, but we're still trying because you can get precise.
Yeah, exactly. We're still trying to use these inadequate words to express this experience. Yeah.
But like you have a mental image and I have a mental image, and we're trying to kind of get on the same wavelength with them. But at the same time, it's never going to be like 100% like the same mind. Even though we might use the same words, we can completely disagree, or we might use different words. We might be on the same page, just with different words. I don't know.
No, I'm with it. I'm with it. We right there. We right there. We right there. All right. An example: you're walking in the mall and you see a person you like. That person turns to you and smiles, and then walks away. You can make a lot of assumptions just because of this one experience. With these assumptions, you can create a whole fantasy. And you really want to believe this fantasy and make it real. A whole dream begins to form just from your assumptions. And you can believe, oh, this person really likes me. In your mind, a whole relationship begins from that. Maybe you even get married in this fantasy land. But the fantasy is in your mind, in your personal dream. Making assumptions in our relationship is really asking for problems. Often we make the assumption that our partner knows what we think and that we don't have to say what we want. We assume that they're gonna do what we want because they know us so well. If you don't do what we assume they should do, we feel hurt and say, "You should have known." That's real. I've seen that. However, I get why it happens, because that person that we're in that intimate, that romantic or intimate relationship with, it gets interesting because we're no longer really talking to the face that they show other people. We're talking to their home face, their like inner child. We're talking to the version of them that doesn't really smile at everything they do in the mirror. You get what I'm saying? So it's a different level it's a different way you gotta talk to that type of person. If you're talking to a child, you think you know these people because you get so close, but you're talking to this child version of them, so then they respond as such. We're going to unpack that a little bit later. We was talking about that on Friday. If you did not check it out, if you wasn't at the event at a dose, I encourage you to check out their mindful mocktails they have every Friday at 5:30. The mocktails be hitting, and you already know me. I love my tree, and there's a little bit of that in there too. Ooh. All right, moving forward. Making another example. You decide to get married, and you make assumptions that your partner sees marriage in the same way that you do. Then you live together and you find out that this is not true. This creates a lot of conflict, but you still don't try to clarify your feelings about marriage. I encourage marriage counseling if you're going down that route. That's it. That's simple. The husband comes home from work and the wife is mad and the husband doesn't know why. Maybe it's because the wife made an assumption without telling him what she wants. She makes an assumption that he knows her so well and that he knows what she wants and as if he can read her mind. She gets so upset because he fails to meet her expectations. Making assumptions in relationships leads to a lot of fights, a lot of difficulties, and a lot of misunderstandings with people we supposedly love. What up, Jazz? What it do? You want to be part of the Zoom room? Come on through, because I already know you read this book. I already know you read this book. All right, and I would love your perspective. Go on, hit up Pay Over. He said you don't like, can you slide on in? Slide in. All right, move on. It is very interesting how the human mind works. We have the need to justify everything, to explain, to understand everything in order to feel safe. We have pause. That is true. The mind, if it doesn't know something, it wants to know, and if we haven't built up some tolerance, it creates a little anxiety, we can call it. So, we have to learn how to build up tolerance and be able to shift our focus from what the mind keeps telling us what to do. How do we do that? Meditation checkout Thursday. What? We have millions of questions that need answers because there's so many things that the reasoning mind cannot explain. It is not important if the answer is correct. That part. I'm going to say that again. It is not important if the answer is correct. Just the answer itself needs to make us feel safe. That part. This is why we make assumptions. That's when it gets saucy. Hey, what up, Tony? Come on through. It's the same length, dude. Come on in this jump. We gonna rap a little bit. I know you ready for agreements too. We just chopping up about making assumptions and how that can set us up. All right. If others tell us something, we make an assumption, and if they don't tell us something, we make assumptions to fulfill our needs to know and to replace the need to communicate. Even if we hear something and we don't understand, we make an assumption about what it means and believe the assumption. We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. Ooh. Another assumption that I know that I make, and I've been making even more so, is when I hear noises in the other room, it might be something like, oh, that's a water bottle falling. Someone might place something on the floor at a table. And then I hear a random noise. And I don't know what the hell it is. And it's Julie. And then I try to picture what could make that sound that's in the house. What two objects that are inside my house are colliding right now? Potentially breaking. My phone on the floor, and then it slid down the stairs. Okay, all right. However, those are assumptions we make too, from sounds that we hear, from faint images that we see in a blur. We start making assumptions that way as well. So tap into that. See how, check into the senses and how we make assumptions based on our senses. All right, moving forward. These assumptions are made so fast and unconsciously, most of the time, because we have the agreement to communicate this way. We have agreed that it is not safe to ask questions. We have agreed that if people love us, they should know what we want or how we feel. When we believe something, we assume that we're right about it and point that we will destroy the relationship in order to defend our position. That's toxic. Gosh. But yeah, no, that's real. We make assumptions that everyone sees life the way we do. It is so powerful when we can shift our perspective to understand that other people don't see life the same way we do. It's powerful in the fact that it changes the way that we look at a lot of the miscommunications if we're looking with the right mindset with the proper eyes. We can see that sometimes it just is a misunderstanding of the words, or like that circular definition where we're using words to define a word, but we're not able to agree on the definition of a word. Let it go. What else do they say in that Frozen song? Do all that too. We make assumptions that everyone sees life maybe. Okay. We assume that others think the way we do, feel the way we do, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. This is the biggest assumptions that humans make. And this is why we have the fear of being ourselves around others. Because we think everyone else will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. We were talking about love on Friday, and one of the things we were stating was how we love ourselves sets the tone for how we love others. And we also got into a little bit of the past, how we were loved, how that dictates how we love others, and how we like to receive that love as well. So, even before others have a chance to reject us, we have already rejected ourselves. That is why the human mind, that is how the human mind works. Hey, is that you shit? What's going on? What up, though? As I was saying before, y'all want to be, let me throw a quick plug in here. Thanks to MyFit DC, you know what I'm saying? A little love to MyFit DC, a little love to Lifeform. They got the mats, the slip resistant things that's going to keep you nice and stable, able to get your practice a little bit deeper. And then, you know, thanks to UE, Urban Yogi Wellness and Education, where we're restructuring health and wellness, finding ways to take those tools and things that we learn on the mat and into our day-to-day life to create a little bit of elevation, separation, a better state of well-being. Again, shout out to the to Payoga, shout out to Brent LV, No Commercials International. You know we out here. All right, moving forward. We also make assumptions about ourselves, and this creates a lot of inner conflict. I think I'm able to do this. You make assumptions, for instance, then you discover you aren't able to do it. You overestimate or underestimate yourself because you haven't taken the time to ask yourself questions and to answer them. And to answer them. That'd be the kicker. Sometimes we be looking for the answer instead of trying to find it ourselves or create or look for it within ourselves, because a lot of it's about us. Perhaps you need to gather more facts about a particular situation, or maybe you need to stop lying to yourself about what you truly want. I'm gonna go with B. A works too. Sometimes we just gotta get a new view on situations and we can see it a little different. Maybe a little bit to the left, be like, oh, it ain't that bad. Often, when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like the person. I think that's horrible. You shouldn't have to justify why you like the person. But we'll see what they're talking about. Yeah, we got all the answers. Stop lying to yourself. See, that's why you gotta be in the room, man. Come on in this thing. You only see what you want to see, and you deny there are anything you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. Then you make assumptions, and one of the assumptions is, my love will change this person. Dead. But this is not true. Your love will not change anybody. If others change, it's because they want to change, not because you can change them. Then something happens between the two of you, and you get hurt. Suddenly, you see what you didn't want to see before. Only now it's amplified by your emotional poison. This is where it gets salty. I'm gonna rewind some of this. Because that was a lot to unpack. You only see what you want to see, and you deny that there are anything that you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. Then you make assumptions, and one of those assumptions is, my love will change this person. But it's not true. Your love will not change anybody. If others change, it's because they want to change, not because you can change them. Then something happens between the two of you and you get hurt. Suddenly you see what you didn't want to see before. Only now it's amplified with your emotional poison. Ooh. Now you have to justify your emotional pain and blame them for your choices. Oh! Dang. Hey, what up, Nons? Wasn't that they just that just sound like something? That just sound like something? Who? We don't need to justify love. I support those thoughts. If someone loves you, they love you. Let them love you. They don't have to tell you why, every reason or everything good. You just want your ego stroked. And that's okay. Sometimes we do need a little ego stroking. But that doesn't make it love. You know what I mean? Wars. Alright. We don't need to justify love. It's just there or not there. Real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means we don't really like them. That's it. Don't try to paint them another color. You don't like them, and it's okay. We don't have to like everyone. If you did not watch Disney and see that episode of Recess when T.J. Detweiler wanted everyone to like him, and then it was this one kid who didn't even have a legit reason to not like him. He was like, I just don't like you. But he put himself through all that just trying to get this kid to like him. Don't be that guy. Or girl. Don't be that. Be you. People who rock with you, they're gonna rock with you. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 1 person. They'll find you. Be you. Shine your light. Okay. Of course, if you decide to live with someone, if you make that agreement, it is always better to make that agreement with someone who is exactly the way you want him or her to be. Find someone whom you don't have to change at all. It is much easier to find someone who is already the way you want them or her instead of trying to change that person. I agree. Regardless of how hard it seems to find that person, it's easier to find that person than it is to change someone into that person. Yeah, that's some realness right there. Is it too deep tonight? Is it a little spicy tonight? Because I got the talkers on here. I got the bars on here. It's just, why? I'm expecting y'all to come here shut me up with some of these topics.
Okay. It's resonating.
I take that. That's what it is. It's hitting. That's all it is. I like
and I think there's a balance between loving somebody and wanting to change them. Like, I don't think it's all or nothing.
Okay, unpack that a little bit. I think I see what you're saying, because it's like they're not going to be 100% like workable with maybe, but it's like, oh, hey, you're really, really great. Could you try to, what you mean? What you mean by that? I don't know. Nope, internet did not freeze. But his might have, because it did earlier. And he ain't moving. Fair enough. All right, moving forward.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with for sure. Is like, you know, if I'm trying to say, oh, could you like fold the boxes before putting them in the recycling or something? It's like, that's like, I don't know. It could be like a big deal, or it could be like, oh, you're right, let me just do that. Like, part of it depends on who you're with. Like, if this is someone who has like a growth mindset, isn't gonna be like so but you know, or if, but that's definitely something that I'm like how much space do I want to give people to make decisions that are like either unhealthy or like just even like inconvenient for me. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm just okay with it, like whatever circumstances at the same time. So I definitely struggle with that a little bit.
Hey, what up, Tony? Whoa. I know you rocking with it.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Good. Glad to have you in here, my guy.
Yeah, glad to be here, man. It's been a while. I've been missing y'all. It's been so much going on, but I'm here. I'm like, well.
Hey, I know you ready to Four Agreements.
Oh man. I'm gonna chill for a minute. Let me get into the fight. I saw this like lying to yourself.
She was like, damn. Yeah, that's them assumptions.
You messed yourself up before you even, you know what I'm saying, before you even get there, you know, like, that's self-sabotage. Yeah, that's like on a lot of levels, but we do that. I do that to myself on so many levels. And I'm like, it's funny because when you were talking about it, I was like, wow, yeah, I did do that. Like, I didn't even know that, you know what I'm saying, what was going on. But because of my fear of the unknown, I let that fuck me up somehow. You know, like, it was like, oh, you know?
Yeah. That's the fear of the thing is, the fear be creeping in ways that we don't even see it as fear. We just think that we respond in a certain way. We just like, nah, this is just like a logical way to respond. Hold up. Let's see. Would you normally ask a question, or would you normally just assume that you have the right answer? So.
Right.
Alright, we're gonna crack it wide open. We're gonna crack, but what time is it? Can we get a time check? I'm a little far away from the
6:47.
Hey, alright, back. We almost done with the daggone third agreement. We about about to be on the fourth one. Hey, all right, let's get it. We're going to save the fourth one for next week, but we ain't there yet. We just going to finish this third one. We're going to finish it strong. All right. Also, that person must love you just the way you are. So he or she doesn't have to change you at all. If others feel they have to change you, that means they don't really love you just the way you are. So why be with someone if you're not the way he or she wants you to be? We have to be what we are, so we don't have to present a false image. If you love me the way I am, okay, take me. If you don't love me the way I am, okay, bye-bye. Find someone else. It may sound harsh, but this kind of communication means the personal agreement we make with others are clear and impeccable. I agree with that. I've talked to numerous people in this dating world right now, and they're trying to figure out, like, well, who am I going to be? What am I going to be clear with what you want. You don't have to push it, because you want to see the person if they're going to offer it to you. Tell them what it is that you're interested in and see how they offer it. If it's the way you like, continue, and you enjoy spending time with them, continue. If it's positive, continue. If not, say something. If you enjoy time with them, say something. If you don't, bye-bye. It ain't rocket science. It ain't rocket science. But when you find someone that really pulls those strings, ooh, I hope it's someone who's good for you. If not, that's a whole nother animal that we'll talk about on another show, because this one we're talking about not making assumptions. Alright. We have to be.
Yeah.
What up, though?
No, I was just, it was so funny that when you mentioned the dating world and so forth, and he said it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, but when you in that shit,
when you in that shit, you think you're wrong about some of the basic things that are actually like kind of standard, and that's what makes it challenging. You're like, nah, I thought it was this, and sometimes our meter's a little off. Sometimes our meter's not, and we start doubting ourselves.
Yeah.
It go either way.
Yeah.
There is no right, or there is no like, what's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Dating Universe? It's not a real thing. It's not a real thing. All what I encourage people to just be present and give grace. You find someone whose heart, one, they don't piss you off. You enjoy spending time with them. They care about you. We ain't got complicated.
No, it just takes patience. It's just patience. It's a lot of patience. Like we're talking about it now, and it's we're talking about it in fast motion, but in real time it's slow. Like that process is slow. Like it takes time.
Years.
Yeah, like years.
And a lot of time, the second someone sees someone and they like them, then they want to be boyfriend, then they want to be girlfriend,
right.
then they want to be
right now.
Then they want to be. It's whoa, it's life. Let life happen. Don't let everything happen, and then you still got life. Let life unfold. Don't try to make it unfold. This ain't origami, like reverse origami. Like, come on, what we doing? Hey, what up? Welcome. Hopefully y'all enjoying the chat. I am the Floating Yogi. This is brought to you by UE Urban Yogic Wellness and Education. As you see, some of our sponsors, we got Lifeform, we got MyFitDC, we got Payover Universe, we got Brent LV, we got Buddha Blessing, No Commercials International, Born to Fly Fitness. Daggone it, do you see everybody associated? If you don't invite a friend, matter of fact, invite about 10, daggone it, we about to finish this jump, we about to go in. Alright, let me get back to it. Just imagine the day that you stop making assumptions with your partner and eventually with everyone else in your life. Your way of communicating will change completely. And your relationships will no longer suffer from conflicts created by mistaken assumptions. I will say this. That statement is very true. However, the universe will put you to the test. Because not everyone is making this agreement, only you are. Handle with grace. Right? You can say that. Handle with grace. Handle the other person with a little bit of grace. Don't. And being able to articulate what it is that you're experiencing helps to share perspective, but that can also be a double-edged sword because you're telling them they're doing something that pisses you off. And no one likes to know that they're hurting you when they're not trying to hurt you. So, just more things to think about. Not actually think about, but know that's a thing. So when it comes up, you can just let your mind be at ease. Moving forward. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. You know what I say? There's no stupid question. That's wrong. There's stupid questions. I joke. It's true. There are stupid questions. But the dumbest question is the one you don't ask and that you don't have the answer to. That assumption is the most dangerous. And you don't know when that will be. So don't be afraid to not know. Don't be afraid to be ignorant. No one knows everything. Don't act like you do. Come on. I'm reading a book. I clearly don't know it. Or else I just had it memorized up here. Page 84, paragraph 3, sentence 2, line 27. I don't think there's 27 lines on the page. Too far. Moving forward. All right. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you are clear as you can be. And even then, do not assume that you know all there is to know about a given situation. That part. And then, do not assume that you know all there is to know about a given situation. You just asked the one question that you didn't think about. How many other questions do you think you didn't think about? Now know that there's more, because those are only the ones that you thought about. You see what I did there? Moving forward. Also, find your voice to ask for what you want. A closed mouth don't get fed. Strongly believe that. Yes, I understand they have IVs and stuff like that, but the mouth doesn't get fed. The body, the belly doesn't get nourished. The gut, that's a whole second brain. Slightly like a first brain. But, we'll get into that later. Everybody has the right to tell you no or yes. Yeah, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everybody has the right to ask you. And you have the right to say yes or no. It's pretty, let's follow these simple things. I think it's simple. If you don't understand something, it's better for you to ask and to be clear instead of making an assumption. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly, free of emotional poison. Without making assumptions, your word becomes impeccable. With clear communication, all your relationships will change. Not only with your partner, but with everyone else. You don't need to make assumptions because everything becomes so clear. This is what I want. This is what you want. If we communicate this way, our word becomes impeccable. If all humans communicate in this way, with impeccability of the word, there will be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. All human problems will be resolved if we could just have clear communication. I believe that to an extent, there will still be humongous differences and people won't want to kill people. It is what it is. Welcome to life. Welcome to the Matote. To the Maya. To the illusion. Welcome to the illusion. Moving forward. This then is the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. just saying this sounds easy, but I understand that it's difficult to do. It is difficult because we so often do exactly the opposite. We have all these habits and routines that we're not even aware of. Becoming aware of these habits and understanding the importance of this agreement is the first step. But understanding its importance is not enough. Information or an idea is merely the seed in your mind. What will really make the difference is action. I support these thoughts. Taking the action over and over again strengthens your will, nourishes your seed, and establishes a solid foundation for the new habit to grow. After many repetitions, these new agreements will become second nature, and you will see how the magic of your word transforms you from a black magician into a white magician. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. A white magician uses the word for creation, sharing, giving, loving. By making one agreement a habit, your whole life will be completely transformed. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because spirit moves freely through you. Ooh, I like that statement. Ooh, that's good. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because spirit moves freely through you. This is the mastery of intent, the mastery of spirit, the mastery of love, the mastery of gratitude, the mastery of life. This is the goal of the Talk Tech. This is the path to personal freedom. Oh, last year. Come on now.
That is fire. That is fire. Like, the white magic and the black magic and the way the difference.
Yeah, yo. Oh, damn, you're breaking up.
White magic, it flows right through you when you're what is it? Your magic and how it flows through you like a river, like it just, you know what I mean? Like it's when your intentions are pure, when it's all dark magic, when you're trying to harness shit and control shit and you gonna do this and follow me and give me your money. It's like it just flows.
And another good thing, I like that because I kind of coin spirit to breath, and when the breath moves freely through us, I would correlate that as spirit can move freely through us. So when it says like spirit moving freely through us and magic happening in our lives, as we open our body, as we open our minds, it's kind of like creating like a clean slate for the universe to be like, oh, this person got some free hands. Let me see if they can bloop, 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 catch these blessings. I'm gonna drop their way and keep going. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just bloop, 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 bloop. If they open, if they present, if their eyes are open to it, if their mind's open to it, let's see if they catch it. Let's just see. I mean, that's happened to me numerous times. I've had several situations arise where I could have just spazzed out, literally not knowing where things were going to come from, what was going to happen, how things are going to turn out. And then one thing after another, as everything is just falling down, then blessings are just sliding up beside me. Like, hey, did you think about asking this person? Oh, yeah, let me hit so-and-so up. And they come through with just something to just catapult me to the next space, to the next area that I needed to be in. Like, stick with your holistic healing practices. Allow spirit to move freely through the body, through the mind. Do your meditations, get your sun salutations in, get your breath work in, even if it's just consciously breathing throughout the day. Like sending the breath through different areas, even if it's something as simple as like stopping when you realize you haven't consciously took a breath and then taking 1, 2, and then getting back to your day. It's these little habits that we can just implement into our life to bring a little bit more of that awareness, that consistent awareness, a little bit more of that I don't want to call it healing because that's an overused word. But I'm going to use it this time. Healing to us is what it is. It is what it is. So, next week, we have the fourth agreement. I wonder what that is. Flip, always be your best. I wonder what they have to say about that. Hopefully, you bring that ass next week. Hopefully, you hit up My Fit DC. Hopefully, you hit up Lifeform. Hopefully, you signed up for the Daily Meditation Accountability on UE's stories. Hopefully, you join in the Discord group because we got a Discord server if you're on Discord. Hopefully, you understand that this is even being streamed to the Discord server. Hopefully, you checked in with the rest of the sponsors and you're like, yeah, some of this shit's gonna be great for my life. Let me get it. With that being said, we got a bunch on the schedule. Monday morning is a free sunrise flow with G. Monday nights that's at 7. Monday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. We have the virtual book club. Tuesdays we have lead primary. Wednesdays we have elevated yoga in person 6:30. Thursday this week we have restorative yoga at 6:30. Monday through Friday you can catch me at Sun and Moon Yoga for the Mysore program, getting the physical movement in. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday you can catch me at Flow Yoga Center with the Ashtanga Mind